Hi, welcome to our math. Today I'm doing a series of videos on inequalities and rationals. We are trying to solve these, and so we're trying to find the interval of x values that will satisfy the inequality. To do this, we need to set it equal to 0 and have all of the numbers in a single fraction that is factored. So as simple as this fraction looks, we have to do a lot of work. The first thing I need to do is I need to subtract the 1 over so that I have x plus 3 over 2x minus 14 minus 1 is greater than 0. And then I need a common denominator so that I can combine it into one fraction. So I'm going to multiply this 1 by x plus 3 over x plus 3, which is just a creative way of saying 1. So I have x plus 3 over 2x minus 14 minus 2x minus 14 over 2x minus 14 is less than 0. And what I'm going to do, because I want to make sure all my signs stay correct, is I'm going to put this numerator in parentheses and I'm going to say plus a negative so that I can distribute this negative in, and I make sure that 14's sign changes. If you don't do this, you will probably subtract the 2x. You probably won't shift the sign of that 14, which is really, really important. So then when I bring these together into one fraction, because they now have a common denominator, I end up with x plus 3 minus 2x plus 14, because that negative distributes to get it to be a plus 14. Over 2x minus 14 is less than 0. X minus 2x is a negative x. 3 plus 14 is a plus 17. And this is over 2x minus 14 is less than 0. All right, so this is interesting. We need to know the zeros of the numerator and denominator. For the numerator, we have negative x plus 17 equals 0. If we just add this x over, we get that 17 is equal to x. This is one of our zeros. If we look at 2x minus 14 equals 0, we have 2x is equal to 14, or x is equal to 7. This is our other 0. If we were just solving, we would be done. But of course, we're not just solving. There's an inequality. So I'm going to put a number line. Inequalities and number lines are best friends. This is negative infinity, and this is positive infinity. So that 7 needs to be to the left of our 17. And we are looking for when this is negative, less than 0. And when we have x values between negative infinity and 7, if one of the x values yields a negative, they all will. So we need to test a number to find out what intervals yield negative x's, negative solutions, and which ones yield positive solutions. The way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to test a single value. For instance, I could test x equals 0. 0 is always one of my favorites. When I test a value, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into this equation. So I'm going to test the numerator and the denominator. If I put 0 into the numerator, negative 0 plus 17, that's a positive. I'm not going to do with the actual numbers. I'm just going to determine if it's positive or negative. That's all I really care about. And then 0 minus 14, that's a negative. And a positive divided by a negative, that's going to be negative. And I could have tested anything. I could have tested 5 or negative 100. Anything I tested would have yielded a negative. Now I'm going to test something on this interval. I can do anything between 7 and 17. I'm going to choose 10. So if I put 10 into this, negative 10 plus 17, that is still going to be positive. If I put 2 times 10, that's 20, 20 minus 14, this is suddenly going to also be positive. And any number I put in there, if I put 8 in there, it would have been 16 minus 14, still positive. Anything I put in there would have been positive. Positive divided by positive is positive, which means this whole interval is positive. Now I'm going to choose something out here. Maybe we'll do something extreme like 100. I could have done 18 as well. Let's take 100. Negative 100 plus 17, well, that's going to be negative. 2 times 100, 200 minus 14, oh, that's going to stay positive. Negative divided by a positive, that's going to be negative. So this is negative. And we're looking for negatives, which means we want this interval and this interval. So when I write my answer, I know that negative infinity always has a parenthesis, and I have this 7. And I'm going to join that. I have the 17, and I know I want positive infinity with a parenthesis. Notice I didn't put a parenthesis or a bracket in. The 7 is in the denominator of the fraction. That's going to have a parenthesis without a doubt, because you cannot have a 0 in the denominator of a fraction. Next, because there's no equal sign here, the 17 will also have a parenthesis. Because we cannot equal 0. There's no equal sign in our inequality, so everything is parentheses. But I always take an extra few seconds to really just pause and evaluate, because if it was an equal sign, the first instinct is to put brackets, but you can never have a 0 in the denominator of a fraction. So I like to take an extra few seconds with the parentheses and brackets to make sure I have everything correct. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.